Royal Communications Incorporated with giving a welcome to King's News Room 45 minute news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. This Thursday, December 18, 2025, and I'm Chairman Deere presenting the Airlines National Elections Commission certified Liberian Alternative People's Party as full-fledged political party. LAP National Chairman SM Ada Zone says the party will field candidates for all elected seats in 2029. Liberia National Police opens investigation into December 17 protest reported destruction of properties, intimidation, and violence. Names 10 National Chairman Mobabolu, CDC Arvin Wisse, and Archie Pompo as persons of interest. And also in the news tonight, Supreme Court of Liberia grants Common Justice Minister Council Musa Bin Bill of Information in 58.34 Cairo diamond case. Mandate the Ministry of Mines and Energy to restitute the diamond or its monetary equivalent. Away from home, Nigeria's Foreign Minister Yusuf Toga has formally apologized to Burkina Faso for the unauthorized entry of a Nigerian military jet into Burkinabe airspace, an incident that led to the detention of 11 Nigerian servicemen. The rebel group, which last week seized the Democratic Republic of Congo city of Uvara, say they have begun withdrawing, promising to complete the pull-out on Thursday following pressure from the U.S. These plus the news bulletin, voices of those making the news out of package. We'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back at this juncture with Johnson and Juice with the news bulletin.
The National Elections Commission has officially certificated the proposed Liberian Alternative People's Party as full-fledged political party. LAPP accreditation and certification ceremony at the National Elections Commission headquarters Thursday brought together several partisans and officials of the political party and was graced by all NEC commissioners. Speaking during the certification, NEC chairperson David Etta Brown Lasana declared the Liberia Alternative People's Party as a full-fledged political party that have all the rights to operate in Liberia. She disclosed that the party, headed by former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Reverend Risa Blamo, has met all requirements as a political party. Addressing reporters minutes after the certification, Liberia Alternative People's Party National Chairman Adazone noted that the party is more determined to change the old narratives of politics in Liberia. The national chairman also disclosed that the party political leader, Reverend Risa Blamo, will contest the presidency during the 2029 general and presidential elections. According to Adazone, a nationwide tour will be launched in the coming weeks to expand the scope of the party and ensure every county and tribe is reflected. During the certification ceremony, several partisans of the Liberia Alternative People's Party were seen in jubilant mood. They described the party's accreditation as a beginning of fulfilling the party's agenda. The Liberia National Police has disclosed protesters of the December 17th state lead or leave protest of violence, intimidation, and destruction of properties. The police emphasized that the acts are inconsistent with democratic engagement and will not be tolerated. Namely, stand Chairman Moda Molu, Avin Witte of CDC, and Archie Pompo as persons of interest. In a statement, LNP condemned what it called violent protests, adding that the protests undermine public order, endanger lives and property. The police claimed December 17 protest was diverted from initially announced lawful and peaceful purpose, which it termed constitutional right of all citizens to peaceful assembly. The Supreme Court of Liberia has granted former Justice Minister Musa Dane bail of information filed before the court after the Justice Ministry included him in a party to the 58.34-carat diamond case, value over 12 million United States dollars. The court, in its December 18 ruling, stated that the mandate growing out of the judgment of the Supreme Court cannot lawfully be enforced against former Justice Minister Musa Dane, who was not personally named or adjudged liable. The court's mandate order the Ministry of Mines and Energy to make restitution of the 48.34-carat diamond or its monetary equivalent. The High Court ruling maintained that former Justice Minister Musa Dane was not a party to the action, out of which the bill of information grew, saying the trial court proceeded improperly in the enforcement of the mandate of the court. Bon County District 7 representative for the family has assured citizens of Bon Mines that he is determined to ensure that visible developments are carried out in the area by China Union. Recently, residents of Bon Mines took a bold action by stopping the China Union train from transporting iron ore out of the area. The move was intended to draw attention to long-standing concerns affecting the community. Citizens have since said despite China Union operation in the area for more than 10 years of mining, the company has made little or no meaningful developmental impact in the area. The Press Union of Liberia has distanced itself from the Liberia Broadcast Media Awards organized by a group calling itself Liberia Broadcasters Association. PUL, in a statement, noted that the organizers lack mandate and legitimacy to confer awards on broadcast journalists and media institutions in Liberia. According to the Press Union of Liberia, the authority to recognize excellence in journalism and media rests exclusively with the Press Union of Liberia, noting that as Liberia's legitimate, independent, and credible representative body of journalists and media institutions, the union alone has the integrity and institutional framework to evaluate and honor outstanding achievements. The Press Union of Liberia expressed concern, at the same time, expressed concern over the attempt by the self-styled Liberia Broadcasters Association, a group neither recognized nor accredited as an auxiliary of the union, to stage an award event outside the union's established annual awards ceremony. President Joseph Walker has suspended the heads of the National Commission on Disability for mismanagement. A release issued by the Executive Mansion disclosed that Sam Dane and Deputy Executive Director Winifred Pay have been temporarily removed from their respective positions pending the conclusion of an audit into the allegations of mismanagement. Recently, several members of the commission staged a protest accusing Sam Dean of corruption and suppression and called for his immediate removal. The executive mansion said the two heads were suspended following recommendations submitted by a special investigative committee. The release added that to ensure continuity in the administration and operations of the commission, President Walker appointed Apostle J. Aaron Wright as acting Executive Director, and Emery Amos Jesse, Acting Executive Director. The National Identification Registry has developed what it calls a 5-year strategic plan to provide a clear vision in building a modern, secure, and citizen-centered identification system in the country. Andrew Peters, Executive Director of the registry, said the strategic plan articulates the pillars and objectives focusing on universal coverage, digital identification, governance, and institutional capacity to strengthen partnerships. According to him, the plan places citizens at the center, ensuring inclusion, data protection, privacy, trust as the core principles guiding all interventions. The executive director of the National Commission on Higher Education has described research as the best way in resolving the many challenges facing the country. Dr. Cecilia Cassell noted that other tier world countries are succeeding in overcoming most of their challenges based on research. The executive director of the National Commission on Higher Education praised the Minister of Education, Jaso Jala, for encouraging Tuskegee University to reach a memorandum of understanding with the three institutions in Liberia. Dr. Cassell also commended the management team of Tuskegee University and encouraged them to include the exchange of faculties. She made the comments during the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Tuskegee University, based in the United States, and Ministries of Education, Agriculture, and the University of Liberia. And the Ministry of Public Works has launched its 5-year strategic plan aimed at enhancing the construction of paved roads throughout the country. Speaking at the launching ceremony in Monrovia, Public Works Minister Roland Giddings said about 485 kilometers of roads are expected to be constructed over the next 5 years. According to him, the ministry has completed the construction of 7 kilometers already, just under a few months. Minister Giddings commended the employees of the ministry for the level of cooperation thus far and urged them to work more in order to connect the country by roads.
Seman Juice with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's News Broom. A reminder you're listening to King's News Broom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Stories we following tonight. National Elections Commission certifies Liberian Authoritative People's Party as full-fledged political party. LAP National Chairman SM Ada Zonen says the party will field candidates for all elective seats in 2029. Liberian National Police opens investigation into December 17 protest reported destruction of properties, intimidation, and violence. Names stand Chairman Moba Molu, CDC, Arvin Wise, and Archie Pompon as persons of interest. And also in the news tonight, Supreme Court of Liberia grants former Justice Minister Consider Musa Bain Bill of Information in 58.34 carat diamond case. Mandates the Ministry of Mines and Energy to restitute the diamond or its monetary equivalent. Away from home, Nigeria's Foreign Minister Yusuf Toga has formally apologized to Burkina Faso for the unauthorized entry of a Nigerian military jet into Burkinabe airspace, an incident that led to the detention of 11 Nigerian servicemen. The rebel group, which last week seized the Democratic Republic of Congo city of Uvara, said they have begun withdrawing, promising to complete the pull-out on Thursday, following pressure from the U.S. We'll take a break to be back with voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The Liberal National Elections Commission has officially certified a certificated proposed Liberian Alternative People's Party as full-fledged political party. LAPP accreditation and certification ceremony at the NEC headquarters Thursday brought together several partisans and officials of the political party and was graced by all NEC commissioners. Speaking during the certification, NEC chairperson David Eto Brown and Sonan declared LAP as a full-fledged political party that have all legal rights to operate in Liberia.
This is to certify that Liberian Alternative People's Party, LAPP, has fulfilled all of the requirements for the registration as a political party as provided for in Article 79 of the Constitution of Liberia and the NEC guidelines and regulations relating to the formation and registration of political parties to operate within the Republic of Liberia. For so doing, the National Elections Commission hereby declares and accredits the Liberian Alternative People's Party, LAPP, as a duly registered political party. On this 18th day of December 8, 2023. Signed, Honorable Josephine Kawude, Commissioner, Honorable Basi Diopaka, Commissioner, Honorable Paul Alcesea, Commissioner, Honorable Councilor Ernestine Morton, our Commissioner, Honorable Walter A. Buckley, Commissioner, Councilor P.T. Clary, School Chairperson, and in my own name, Director Brown Mansana, Chairperson, National Elections Commission of Liberia.
Addressing reporters minutes after the certification, LAP National Chairman S.M. Adazonen noted that the party is more determined to change what he called old narratives of politics in Liberia.
So we bring different things to this process. We are not going to just talk the talk, we are going to work the talk. Talking politics is not the game. We are more strategic. We work behind the scenes, we do our work. But the difference between them and us is that every report by international bodies and local bodies, corruption is at the head. So if you want to have a guarantee, look at my track record in the past. Look at people that I've worked with. Look at my previous Bishop Lamb. His record will speak that there's a difference when it comes to corruption. Oh yeah, this administration have nothing to do. They cannot go after him. Maybe after now they will say they will send somebody there to clear them. And we wait on that and we will bow by the law. We will go to the court. But they have not since they came into power. So that's the difference that we bring. And that's the guarantee we give to Liberian people. Justice for all. Transparency at the hand. Anti-graft institution will be established or reinforced or what we say will be a supported relationship, interactions with all of the political parties. Obviously,
do you have it currently? Do you have it currently? Do you have any alignment currently?
Alignment? Party. We have just today we then certificated.
Okay.
We don't think of that in the near future. I can guarantee you, LAP is going to be a candidate from 2029, and we send the candidate into all the 103, if possible, 117 if they add the other 14 there. In an economy where you don't even have the money to feed and pay your civil servant, and you don't need to add more seats to legislature, then we'll see that. But we'll see candidate in every subdivision of this country.
LAP National Chairman S.M. Adazonen. Earlier, you heard the voice of NEC Chairperson David Edo Brown Lansana. Bong County District 7 Representative for the Famole has assured citizens of Bongman that he is determined to ensure that visible developments are carried out in the area by Shannon Union. Recently, residents of Bongman Electoral District 7 took the bold action by stopping Shannon Union train from transporting IO out of the area. However, following the protest, Representative Foley held a successful meeting with the community members and engaged the company, showing residents that swift developmental progress will be implemented within 6 days.
That they have made a commitment, a serious commitment that they're going to try implementing within the first 60 days. They're going to give a progressive report on how they have implemented. As a community, we are more interested in seeing our community to be developed. The fact that they have given us a plan in terms of how they can implement the concession, we can monitor that, we can wait and see, because we have waited for years, and the community has been in dire need of development. So we're going to monitor it. The community people has accepted the 60 days requested for. We work with our colleagues at the legislature to inform some of the issues they have agreed to do is that they inform us they have already contracted the road leading from Bon Mines to Gigima. Within 45 days, we'll see massive improvement on that road. They're going to redo it and get it to a place where we can start discussing the second phase, which is for alpha pavement. The argument is for them to lay quota from Bon Mines. The next issue is that they're going to do an assessment of the hospital and give us monitoring plan, how they can be able to provide management support to the building there. The community is willing to give that all to them. So there are a lot of things they have committed themselves to do. All we're going to do now, we're going to set a local community with my office.
Bon County District 7 representative for the family, they're speaking. The National Identification Registry has developed what they call a 5-year strategic plan aimed at providing a clear vision and building a modern, secure, and citizen-centered national identification system in the country. Andrew Peters, Executive Director of the registry, said the strategic plan articulates the pillars and objectives focused in universal coverage, digital identification, modernization, governance, and institutional capacity strengthening, sustainable financing, and partnership. According to him, the plan places citizens at the center, assuring inclusion, data protection, privacy, and trust as the core principles guiding all interventions.
As Liberia continues in its digital transformation journey, a strong and credible national ID system is no longer optional. It is a critical national infrastructure. The 5-year strategic plan we are here to validate is a figure of extensive technical analysis, institutional self-assessment, broad shareholder engagement, the reflections of collective experiences, lessons learned, and from year of implementation to the date, in alignment with national development priorities, including the arrest agenda for inclusive development, digital governance reform, regional and international best practice in identity management. This strategic plan is set as a clear vision to build a modern, secure, interoperability, and citizen-centered national identity system. It articulates strategic pillars and objectives focused on unified coverage, digital eco-modernization, governance and institutional capacity strengthening, sustainable financing and partnership. Importantly, it places at the center, ensuring inclusion, data protection, privacy, and trust as a core principle guiding our interventions. Today's validation workshop is therefore a critical milestone. It provides an opportunity for you as a key stakeholder and partners to review the proposed strategic direction, interrogate the assumption, test the feasibility of targeted issues, ensure that the plan is realistic, implementable, responsive to the needs of Liberians. Your insight and recommendations will strengthen the document and enhance national ownership. I wish to emphasize that this strategic plan is not just intended for an NIR document. It is a national framework that requires strong collaboration across government, ministries, and agencies, sustaining political support, active private sector engagement, and continued partnership with our development partners. Effective identification systems flourish on coordination, interoperability, trust, and these can only be achieved through collective action.
National Identification Education Registry Executive Director Andrew Sneakers speaking. A reminder you listen to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our world. Stories we follow in tonight. National Elections Commission certified Liberian Alternative People's Party as full-fledged political party. LAP National Chairman SM Ada Zonen says the party will field candidates for all elective seats in 2029. Liberia National Police opens investigation into December 17 protest, reported destruction of properties, intimidation, and violence. Names stand Chairman Moba Molu, CDC Arvin Wise, and Archie Pompon as persons of interest. Supreme Court of Liberia grants former Justice Minister Councillor Musa Din Bill of Information in 58.34 carat diamond case, mandates the Ministry of Mines and Energy to restitute the diamond or its monetary equivalent. Away from home, Nigerian Foreign Minister Yusuf Toga has formally apologized to Burkina Faso for the unauthorized entry of a Nigerian military jet into the Burkinabe airspace, an incident that led to the detention of 11 Nigerian servicemen. The rebel group, which last week seized the Democratic Republic of Congo city of Uvara, says they have begun withdrawing, promising to complete the pull-out on Thursday, following pressure from the U.S. We'll take a break to be back with more voices, including our foreign news. Welcome back, and thanks for being there. The Executive Director of the National Commission on Higher Education has described research as the best way in resolving the many challenges facing the area. Dr. Cecilia Cassell noted that other third world countries are succeeding in overcoming most of their challenges based on research. The Executive Director of the National Commission on Higher Education praised the Minister of Education, Jasper Jalaf, for encouraging the Tuskegee University to reach a memorandum of understanding with three institutions in the country.
This is a great day for Liberia, and I'm happy to be a part of it. At the time, I just took over as the head of higher education, and we are here to sign MOU for higher education. We need you more than ever before. If you look around our higher education institutions, we need to groom our faculty, because that's the only way we can get to where we want to be. And research is key in everything that we do. I always like to use Ghana as an example. I always say it's not magic they are performing. Ghanaians are researching into their problems. They are using the information they gather from the people who are living the problems to solve the problems. I think we can get there. So I'm happy that we are here this morning, signing the MOU, and we are also talking about research. That is one way that we can help to solve our problems. If we go after the people who are living the problems to tell us what the problems are, then we can take it from the root to be able to solve the problem. And student exchange, faculty exchange is also good for us. We learn from you, you also learn from us, because I guess we have some unique things that you also want to learn. So I'm happy that we are signing this MOU at this time, that I will say, well, I was part of it when it's signed as the head of the commission. So I'm grateful, welcome, and I pray that we take it from this level and do actual practice, as Dr. Arce has said. He started already, and I want other institutions to join this. We have the private, we have the public. they are also, private institutions are also preparing people for our country. So I pray that we look beyond the public and also look at the private, because we are all preparing Liberian students.
Executive Director of the National Commission on Higher Education, Dr. Cecilia Castell. The Ministry of Public Works has officially launched its 5-year strategic plan aimed at enhancing the construction of paved roads throughout the country. Speaking at the launching ceremony in Monrovia, Minister of Public Works, Roland Giddens, said about 485 kilometers of roads are expected to be constructed over the next 5 years. According to him, the ministry has completed the construction of 7 kilometers already just on a few months.
We still have to do 485 kilometers of paved road in the next 5 years, but I can see us doing 700 kilometers already. And so that's the raw aggression element I'm talking about. And I'd like to take this time also to say thanks to my team. We have a wonderful team here at the Ministry of Public Works. We have a wonderful group of partners that we work with. And we're going to continue to build the partnership. As we reignited our donor meetings, we want to talk to some of the donors that are here to please engage. Those meetings are very critical because we're able to exchange, look at the plans that we're executing, look at your plans and see how that can align with the overall AAID. As has been stated over the years, the Liberia's problem to economic growth is because of two major constraints. And those constraints are the lack of energy, sustainable energy, and also access in terms of road network. The government has prioritized these two sectors as key for investment, and that is why the focus is on roads and energy. Here at the Ministry of Public Works, we collaborate with the Liberian Electricity Corporation on all their projects. And so whatever support we can give them to create the access to where they may be investing to enhance energy productivity. Vice versa, they also do similar with the Ministry of Public Works to ensure that we're able to create the kind of assets that are required for economic growth and development. We've identified major growth corridors, and those growth corridors are now being developed. And those corridors are the corridor that runs into central Liberia, runs into northern Liberia to Lofa, runs to Denmark, runs to the southeast, the coastal highway, the corridor that runs down to Bowater South, which will soon be starting on a PPP arrangement. Good to know that the government adopted a PPP policy. Now we have a PPP policy which was adopted by cabinet to ensure that the investment in our road sector is not limited only to what we do our multilateral partners. We also engage private financing. Though private financing may be a little higher in terms of interest rate, repayment period may not be that flexible, but resources are out there. And I'm sure working with the IMF and the World Bank, there's conversation as to how they can give us the kind of latitude to expand the space.
Public Works Minister Roland Giddens, speaking away from home, Nigeria's Foreign Minister Yusuf Toga has formally apologized to Burkina Faso for the unauthorized entry of a Nigerian military jet into Burkinabe airspace, an incident that led to the detention of 11 Nigerian servicemen. Toga's spokesperson told the BBC that the detained personnel had been released and were due to return to Nigeria without saying when. The plane was flying to Portugal when it developed a technical problem and had to land in Burkina Faso, according to the Nigerian Air Force. The unauthorized landing sparked a diplomatic row with the Alliance of Sahel states made up of Burkina Faso and its neighbors Mali and Niger. And the rebel group, which last week seized the Democratic Republic of Congo city of Juvara, say they have been or begun withdrawing, promising to complete the pull-out on Thursday following pressure from the U.S. The M23 group captured the strategic cities near the border with Burundi days after a historic U.S. brokered peace deal between Congolese and Rwandan governments aimed at ending the long-running conflict in eastern DR Congo. However, DR Congo's government say The reported withdrawal is a diversion and needs verification. On Thursday morning, some Uvara residents told the BBC that it was not clear if the M23 were leaving with some of their trucks still moving around the city. Well, on that note, that's how we come to the near end of this edition of King's Newsroom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. National Elections Commission certifies Liberian Alternative People's Party as full-fledged political party. LAP National Chairman S.M. Ada Zonen says the party will field candidates for all elective seats in 2029. Liberia National Police opened investigation into December 17 protest reported destruction of properties, intimidation, and violence. Names Stan Chairman Moba Molu, CDC Arvin Wisse, and Archie Pompon as persons of interest. You also heard in the news Supreme Court of Liberia grants former Justice Minister Councilor Musa Denby of information in 58.34 carat diamond case mandates Ministry of Mines and Energy to restitute the diamond or its monetary equivalent. Away from home, Nigeria's Foreign Minister Yusuf Toga has formally apologized to Burkina Faso for the unauthorized entry of a Nigerian military jet into Burkina airspace, an incident that led to the detention of 11 Nigerian servicemen. The rebel group, which last week seized the Democratic Republic of Congo city of Uvara, say they have begun withdrawing, promising to complete the pull-out on Thursday following pressure from the U.S. Many thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped in making this edition of King's Newsroom a success. Sam Andrews brought you the news bulletin. Frank Diallo Swen sat at control and handled the technical aspect of this edition. On behalf of the team, I'm Shemon Dale. I present it. Thanks for listening and watching.